Her voice cut through the room like a blade. "You'll never be good enough for me." The laughter around the Thanksgiving table stopped. Forks froze mid-air. Even the children went silent. But I didn't. I just looked at her, the woman I once mistook for a partner, and felt nothing. Just a hollow, a clean, surgical emptiness. I smiled calmly, the kind of smile that made her eyes tighten with uncertainty, and whispered, "Maybe you're right." Then I stood. No anger, no theatrics, just a quiet, precise exit. I walked out of her parents' house, got into my car, and drove away. No one followed, no one dared. Hours later, my phone buzzed. A text from her friend. "You know what she said after you left?" My fingers moved without emotion. What? A second buzz, this time my daughter-in-law during cleanup chaos. "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes," she yelled over clattering plates. I replied with one word, "Enjoy." Then silence. Until I posted the photos, my morning coffee on the balcony of my villa in Switzerland, the lake glittering behind me, the mountains quiet witnesses to my exile. 71 missed calls followed. I stared at the screen, my pulse steady, and finally allowed the truth to surface. They had no idea who I really was, and that ignorance was about to cost them everything. Looking back, the signs were always there, quiet, almost polite in their cruelty. The late-night whispers in rooms she thought I couldn't hear. The unexplained smiles at her phone. The sudden, rehearsed arguments meant to push me away. The decline of touch, replaced with criticism sharpened to precision. But this Thanksgiving, that outburst, that public humiliation wasn't spontaneous. It was a reveal, a slip. And slips always point to something deeper. I replayed her words as I sat in the airport lounge, waiting for my flight back to Switzerland. "You'll never be good enough for me." It wasn't anger, it was contempt. Contempt is born from comparison. Comparison requires someone else. My mind cataloged the inconsistencies, the unknown number calling at 2 a.m., the weekend work seminars, the sudden obsession with looking effortless, the emotional distance, measured, deliberate, practiced. She was preparing to replace me. I wasn't surprised. What surprised me was how calmly the realization settled. No denial, no bargaining, just acceptance. My life had always been divided. Two worlds, two versions of me. The soft husband she disrespected, and the man she never met, the one who built an empire in silence, the one whose wealth stretched across continents, the one who preferred anonymity over applause. She married the surface version. She betrayed the one she could never begin to understand. By the time my flight boarded, my decision was already made. I would find the truth. Not to save the marriage, to end it strategically, quietly, completely. I landed in Zurich before dawn. The air felt cleaner here, colder, sharper, like it approved of what I was about to do. In the villa, I moved with mechanical precision, each action slicing through the remnants of attachment. I opened my laptop, began organizing my thoughts, my suspicions, my evidence. First step, access her old phone backups. She'd forgotten I had admin-level permissions from when we trusted each other. Second step, contact a discreet private investigator, a man who didn't judge, didn't question, didn't speak unless paid to. Third step, cross-reference timelines. As the hours passed, patterns emerged like bruises rising to the surface. Receipts for hotel rooms I never set foot in. Photos labeled as girls' nights with faces cropped out. A recurring name on financial transfers, small enough to hide, consistent enough to signal intimacy. And then, texts. Archived, buried deep, but not deep enough. He doesn't suspect anything. I'll leave him once I know what I'm getting. He's too soft, Too boring. He'll beg when I'm done. I didn't beg. I didn't even blink. My heart was quiet, almost serene. Each file I opened, each lie I uncovered, strengthened something inside me, something she had tried to destroy, my clarity. The investigator sent photos next. Her leaving a hotel at 3 a.m., her laughing, leaning across a car window into someone else's smile, her hand on another man's shoulder, comfortable, familiar, claiming. Proof. Not loud, not dramatic, just definitive. I didn't confront her, not yet. The best revenge is crafted slowly, with cold hands and a steady pulse. So I waited, I prepared, and when the final piece arrived, a DNA report I ordered on a hunch, it all snapped into place with a click that echoed through my mind. Truth doesn't comfort. Truth cuts. And I was ready to let her bleed on her own lies. I returned to our home 3 days later. She looked genuinely startled, as if I was a ghost she prayed wouldn't return. "You're back," she whispered. I said nothing. Silence is more effective than accusation. I placed the folder on the kitchen island, a thin, unassuming packet. She opened it, eyes scanning the pages. The color left her face. Her breath hitched. Her hand trembled. DNA results, financial logs, hotel photos, message transcripts. Every lie she told resurrected on paper. Where did you get this?" she stammered. I looked at her with the calmness she feared most. "You already know." She collapsed into a chair, a frantic flutter in her chest. A person drowning in the mirror of her own truth. "I can explain," she tried. But explanations are for people worth saving. I wasn't angry. I was beyond anger. I was untouchable. And she finally understood that. "I saw your Thanksgiving message," I said quietly. "The one about the dishes." Her eyes widened. She realized the timing, the optics, the humiliation she thought she delivered returned to her tenfold. "I posted photos of the villa," I continued. 71 calls from your family. Curious, isn't it? How quickly greed follows shame." Her lips parted. You have a villa in Switzerland?" "I have 12 properties," I said. "You knew none of them." Her expression fractured. Greed, regret, panic, all blooming at once. "That's why you stayed," I murmured. "Not for me, for what you thought you could take." I slid the divorce papers toward her, already signed, irrevocable, assets legally sealed and unreachable. "You don't get a cent." Her breath crumpled. "And the man you replaced me with," I added, "he'll get exactly what he deserves too." Her hands shook violently now. "You planned this," she whispered. "You planned everything." "No," I said softly. "You planned my destruction." I leaned in just enough for her to feel the cold edge of my words. "I simply let you destroy yourself." I walked out of the house, the same way I walked out of Thanksgiving. Calm, collected, unreachable. Her sobs followed me down the hallway, but they didn't touch me. They couldn't. Some betrayals hollow you out. Others refine you into something sharper. As I stepped into my car, the mountain villa photo still open on my phone, I felt the last thread between us snap. Not violently, peacefully, clean. By the time I reached the airport, I was lighter, unburdened, free. People talk about closure as if it's supposed to heal you. They're wrong. Closure isn't a bandage, it's a blade, and I finally used mine.